Chicago! Welcome in to the Chicago Sports Podcast presented by Goose Island, the official beer of CHGO. Find one of their Chicago locations at gooseisland.com/locations. What's up, everyone? For the first time in forever, we are all in studio. Kevin Kaduk, Kacy Standohar, Luke Stuckmeyer, and the man behind the board, Lawrence Benedetto.
What's up, y'all?
This is the Chicago Sports Podcast. Coming at you from a different time. It's noon on Thursday.
Hey, Case, it's white hoodie day.
It's white hoodie day.
It's white hoodie day.
Right.
We flip-flop the time. The CHO Bears guys are out at Hallis Hall talking to all the new additions, so we slid in here.
New addition like Bobby Brown?
Seamlessly.
No? Bobby Brown reference? New addition?
We don't get it.
Johnny Gill?
It's before Casey's time.
But it's not before your time or your time.
I know. I know what you're talking about. I'm busy over here
Bell
retweeting my
We're busy.
Merch Madness poll that I'm
Yeah.
competing against Moriano.
We're trying to
That
win.
I could be his grandfather.
That's
What's up, Doug Van Dorn? He says, hi, guys. Good to see you. Good to see everyone who's here. Probably expecting to see CHGO Bears. We are going to talk about Ryan Poles' press conference.
We're not talking about
Hit the
that
tip
anymore.
jar.
No.
Ryan Poles' press conference. DJ Moore. He also talked. We're gonna just be talking about a lot of Chicago Bears stuff because that is going on.
CHO Bears, 3 o'clock today. And so, Doug, DraftKings is now taking bets on how late this podcast will start at any given day.
Doug.
Take at
Careful,
least plus
bro.
3 hours.
Just, you know.
Doug,
Plus
it
3.
depends on whether or
Give or
not you
take.
set your clocks ahead.
Oh, I wasn't even on camera for that.
Technically are an hour
Doug,
early.
Just be nice, Doug. Thank you.
Did you not set your clock?
Jimmy said Ryan Poles
No.
has done nothing so far.
You want to know? Let me tell you something real quick before we get too heavy into the sports. The young kids, Kacy, Ryan Herrera, and those, everything is digitally updated for them now. They don't have the cuckoo clock where they need to wind it forward or an hour back. I showed up on Monday and said something about how the springing forward was messing with my son's sleep and yada yada. And Herrera's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Daylight savings time?" Like, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that happened."
I was at the I was at the
He
boys.
doesn't have a coffee maker. He doesn't
It
have a
was
microwave.
On
Listen,
Monday, he had no
we
idea.
don't care about that. Here's the thing. I was at the boys' state tournament. My mom's like, "Don't wake up late. You got to set your clock." And I was like, "Mom, my phone. It does it."
Yeah, but there's other clocks around the
Yeah, but
house.
I'm not going to wake up late because I didn't set my old-fashioned alarm clock.
I don't even have a clock. All I wait for is cock-a-doodle-doo in the morning, and then I know it's time.
You have a rooster?
Yeah,
For
I
the
have a rooster.
See if do I have an alarm sound? Nope, that's not
My
it.
kids were out of their freaking minds on Sunday. Just completely,
yeah.
I mean,
We
couldn't reason with
messes up
them,
the kids.
crying, sobbing.
Yeah, it messes them up big time.
And I mean, my kids are usually pretty even-keeled. Sunday, it was nuts. By the way, happy birthday to Kenzie Kaduk.
Hey!
Big 7 today. Happy birthday, Kenzie.
7.
Yay.
She's
Thank
she's a huge CHGO fan, a huge Kacy fan.
Oh, I
Yes.
love her. I'm a
She
huge
loves
fan of her.
Io. She wants to come in and meet Io.
This is 7.
Not a lot of interest in Luke or Lawrence, though.
No.
Is she
That's fine.
Is she your daughter that Googled about
That was
who is the
Karina.
bear? Karina Googled who is
Did
the
I,
Bears.
did I tell you about this? So we get a report from school of what they search for on Google. And one week, this is my older daughter who's 8, and she searched, who is head coach of the Chicago Bears?
I love it.
And so then I said, well, what did you find out? Who is the head coach of the Chicago Bears? And she said, like, Mike Smith. I was like, no,
No, it's Greg Braggs.
it's Greg Braggs.
It's Braggs.
That's exactly
Greg
right.
Bragg.
Well, that's pretty great. Happy birthday. Happy 7th birthday. For your 10th birthday, you get to host this show.
Yeah.
You have to be double
Let her
digits.
do it.
Double digits, you're allowed to host the show.
Let's take care of some housekeeping. We do have that brick by brick sweatshirt Hoodie is for diehards
it?
only. We
Where
have
is
the
it?
T-shirts out there.
man.
Those have been selling like hotcakes.
Hold
One of
on.
our better merch drops here in 2023. We're doing the Merch Madness
Merch Madness.
tournament on social. We'll be talking about that later, which will be cool. And what else we got? We got some events coming up. We're going to be announcing particulars, but get ready for opening day events for both the Sox and Cubs.
What?
So that's going to be fun.
Hi, Connor. Hi, everybody. People are complaining in the chat that Poles hasn't done anything yet. What?
Yeah, well.
We're going to talk about
we're gonna talk
Ryan
about
Poles and the grades that we're giving him. First off, though, I do want to give the
Go for it.
ComEd
Yeah.
Taking Care of Business
Ooh, yeah.
award winner this week to our guy, David Montgomery. I guess he's no longer our guy.
He's not our guy.
Detroit's guy. He is headed to, I don't know if I want to say greener pastures, but the Lions are looking up. So, and he is going to get paid $18 million over the next 3 seasons, $11 million guaranteed. I'm going to miss him. I understand kind of what is at play here, but he scored 26 touchdowns over 4 years here, rushed for another 3,600 yards, which is 6th best in franchise history. And to me, he's just one of those guys that you liked rooting for. He always represented the franchise well. Cody tweeted, there were so many things over the last 4 years that would frustrate you about the Bears, that would make you tear your hair out. And rarely was David Montgomery that reason.
You'll miss watching him on the Bears, but you won't miss watching him on the Bears if they're winning more. So I also totally appreciate the old school running back. Very rarely was he knocked backwards or taken for a loss. Every time he was hit, he seemed like he'd drag it for another 2-3 yards, which is so Chicago, right? Like that's what we love. But the running back position is changing a little bit, especially in this offense. They want guys who can catch the ball. They probably want somebody who's just a slightly better blocker. It wasn't that they didn't like David Montgomery. They like him.
Well, he needed that burst. I mean, I think all the things that endeared him to us, which was getting a lot of what he was. I mean, he's not physically imposing, not a lot of great speed, all that, but he worked hard. And I think when we did see him getting that extra 3 or 4 yards, that's the sort of thing that endears you to the Chicago Bears fan. And that's why we're going to miss him. Now, is that worth $6 million a year? No, because I think we're looking at Ryan Poles, and Ryan Poles is from the NFL where running backs are expendable, and you don't fall in love with running backs. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Unless you find a running back in the draft in like the 5th round who gives you great value and turns out to be a top 2 or 3 running back in the league. You're not going to go out anymore and spend big money. I saw Ezekiel Elliott, by the way, who's on the downturn now, was cut by the Cowboys. Eckler from the Chargers would be great too. He'd be a great fit on the Bears. But again, I don't want to spend that type of money on a running back. They desperately need offensive linemen. They desperately need defensive line help. There's way too many holes on this team to worry about having a star running back right now.
Does it ever astound you that any good athlete in the year 2023 goes into a high school or college program and says, yes, I'm going to be a running back?
It's a fun position to play.
I am going to be a guy. Of course, it's the glory position. You get to carry the ball over the goal line. Like you are the guy. Yeah. It's fun. But when that first contract comes up, it's not, hey man, here's 5 years for $70 or $80 million. Here's 3 for 18. Like you were a centerpiece in Chicago. People love you. Still don't care.
Yeah.
Even Ezekiel Elliott, right? I mean, he did get that second contract, and he will be a Cowboy for life or whatever, but they're done with him already.
Yeah. I really do think there are a lot of Bears fans out there that are, some weren't happy with the Roquan deal, and now some aren't happy that David Montgomery left because, good players, Chicago-type players. It doesn't mean both moves weren't the right move.
Yeah, it's tough. I think like us growing up and loving Walter Payton and Neil Anderson and even Matt Forte, right? Like he was here for a while.
Forte'd be a great fit in this.
Yeah, he would.
In this offense.
But it's hard to get
where they found him. They found him in a later round. You didn't have to take Matt Forte in like a top 10 pick. You didn't have to pay him huge money right away.
Right. But it's hard to get your head around the fact that running backs are expendable when we are from a running back franchise.
Yes.
I mean, obviously Gale Sayers too. We're not that old, but Gale Sayers obviously
I know.
belongs in that group as well. So.
But, in Chicago, we love to live in the past, and the game has moved on and changed a little bit, and now, finally, we're changing with it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Ryan Poles, right?
Yeah.
Big week for Ryan Poles. I mean, he's arguably front and center on that. He's ruled the NFL news for the last week, starting on Friday.
King Poles.
He's an off-season and a half into this. He had last off-season, and now he's 3 days into this free agency. He still has this draft. But I just kind of want to talk a little bit. We see people already saying, "Oh, Ryan Poles hasn't done anything."
I don't get that.
I know. I don't get it either.
Well, because they want all $100 million to be spent, and they want superstar players that they've heard of on fantasy teams.
Yeah.
That's the off-spin of fantasy football that I don't love. Like, there's a difference between having a great fantasy football team and having a great football team. The Bears are trying to build something that will be flexible for them next season. They've got more draft picks coming next year. He's not fixing this whole team this offseason.
Right.
They were the worst team in the league. I know you can go from worst to first, but he's got so many holes to fill. It's probably a 3-year rebuild, right?
Yeah.
The teardown took a year. Now it's a 2 to 3 year rebuild.
I mean, I will say this. Now, Carm was all over the place yesterday with his takes, and I was a little frustrated. But he kind of has a point in that what Poles has done in free agency so far is a little underwhelming. I mean, they basically said we need a tackle, offensive tackle, and they went to a price with McGlinchey and then were outbid.
Yep.
They were outbid for Jawan Taylor, the kid from Jacksonville. They were outbid just now for Orlando Brown yesterday.
They weren't outbid. In his press conference, he said it's about scheme match.
Yeah.
And nobody would know more about Orlando Brown than the guy
I
who
get
found
that.
him and helped develop him even.
But it's a little concerning about who they have added versus guys they haven't yet. So there is a little concern.
True.
I'm still being patient.
Yeah,
I'm not on this train where King Poles already owns the city. Let's throw the parade. I think that there's that section of Chicago Bears fan base. While I think it's very endearing and I love being part of that fan base, sometimes I still think the jury's still out on Poles, but we're still a long way away from knowing whether or not if we know what this guy is doing.
Yeah, it's day two.
But to me, I think the early signs are good.
Yes.
I'm fine with them not throwing as much money as the Broncos gave Mike McGlinchey.
Oh, yeah, I was out on McGlinchey in the first
But then
place.
I have a question. Why did Adam Hogue say teams usually regret what they do in these couple days?
Because very rarely do the big money free agents pay off in the NFL.
Right.
They just don't. There's a reason they became free agents. And you usually don't fix your team through free agency. You can find one guy occasionally, but usually you fix your team in the draft.
Right.
Let's be honest. Or in trades. And while he didn't go out and get Orlando Brown, who would have been actually fairly reasonable, but he doesn't believe he's the right fit for what they're trying to do because they had a lot of good run blockers last year, and he's really more of a run blocker than he is a pass blocker. A lot of people said that he wasn't necessarily protecting Patrick Mahomes last year. Patrick Mahomes was protecting him by running around a lot. And by the way, he's a guy that Ryan Poles found in a later draft round. He didn't find him in the first round. So he believes that he can go out and find another guy just like that who'll make a way less money with all these draft picks that they have. And I have no reason not to believe that he can't do that.
Right.
Right, and obviously Braxton Jones is their version of this.
Yes, and the flash wasn't there, but the flash move so far for this offseason, and probably the biggest move of the offseason, is going to be DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Like they got their number one wide receiver. They couldn't – in one day, you're not going to find a number one wide receiver. You're not going to also find your left tackle, your right tackle, your defensive end, your nose tackle, another cornerback. Like they have way too many holes.
Yes, holes.
They got a star wide receiver for Fields.
Poles rhymes with holes.
Poles holes.
Yes, Poles holes.
I have a poll, that's Poll, going
Poll's
on
poll.
our YouTube channel. It says, what grade would you give Ryan Poles to this point in his tenure?
Where are we at so far?
What are we saying? What are people saying?
Right now, B is the
B?
choice of 55% of the people, A, 37%, and then C, 8%, and D or F is
I think I'm at
under
a solid
1%.
B plus.
Yeah. Please keep voting,
B
everyone.
sounds good. That's safe.
Not
He
yeah.
hasn't done that much, but he hasn't done nothing.
So you're at a B.
I'm at a B.
We're including the trade along with free
We're
agency.
including yeah.
Everything.
It's just free
Everything.
We're
agency.
including
Yeah.
trading
Yeah.
His
Roquan,
offseason.
trading for Chase Claypool,
Yeah.
I go B.
drafting Velus Jones Jr.
The good and the bad.
Yeah, okay, then I go B. I go B because there's some draft picks you're not sure about yet.
Yeah.
But
What would you say his best move is, and what is his worst move? And I'll open that up to the chat as well.
his best move and his worst move. Well,
So
so
far.
far the trade
Mo-
seems like the best move.
The Roquan,
No,
Oh,
the
the-
trade for the wide receiver.
yeah.
You get a wide receiver.
yeah.
the number one.
You,
Yeah.
you you drop down to 9.
It's crazy
and
how
now
much
you have
stuff has
2
happened since
first-rounders.
then. Like Adam was out at Northwestern Pro Day,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I was talking to those guys, and I forgot to ask about the trade because so much
Right.
stuff has happened. So much stuff will happen."
Well, with the number 9 pick, you still could find your defensive end, you could find your left tackle, you could find your nose tackle. Like if Jalen Carter, if you still think he's the guy,
Yeah.
Yeesh.
and yeah, I know obviously it's
We'll
more
get
of a
into
risk
that a
than it
little
was
bit.
a month ago. That's later in the podcast, but if he is the guy that was thought of as the best prospect in the entire draft, and he falls to you at 9, and his legal stuff clears up, which it seems was at least taken care of today. Now the mental side of it, but like they can still fix a lot of things. And again, with 2 number 1 picks next year, they've set themselves up that if Justin Fields isn't for some reason the guy, if they don't take this step to a 7, 8, 9 win team this year, because Justin Fields shows you he is that guy with Moore and Mooney and Kmet and whoever else might be added to the team. If he doesn't take that step, they can take those 2 first-round picks and potentially go up and get one of the quarterbacks next year. They have a backup. He's got a plan, and he's got a backup plan. Am I saying it's all going to work? It's not all going to work. But I hope some of it works.
Yeah. I think the chat right now is pretty united on the worst move being the Claypool trade.
Yeah.
Let's wait.
Immediately,
Yeah. 7 games.
Lathan
Played 7
Kilbrand
games.
says worst move has to be the Claypool trade. Admittedly, that could change if he performs this year.
Right.
Yeah, Claypool has a lot. And the one thing that worries me about the DJ Moore trade is that it kind of lessens the pressure on Chase Claypool to be better. And I guess that can work either way, right? Like Chase Claypool needs to earn his new contract. But at the same time, not everyone's going to be up his ass about performing.
Yeah, but
Well-
you know the saying, like, once people show you who they are, believe them? Like, do we really think, like, Chase is going to, like...
Yes.
Right.
Like, I'm serious.
Come on.
No, I'm serious. Like, give me an example of another player.
Yeah,
who
is Chase Claypool, like, what is his attitude going to be when, 5 or 6 more targets are going towards DJ Moore and,
Well, he
Yeah.
needs to
and Cole Kmet?
Like, is
He
it-
needs
But
to
that's-
expect that, and he should be more wide open
Yes.
because of
Right.
Moore. So,
And
like,
as Bro Delicious
It's going to be
says,
interesting. We saw at the Bulls game
Not enough
yesterday,
data.
Fields and the 3 receivers all having a great time in that luxury suite, and I'm sure they're going to have we're going to hear about these great off-season workouts, and
What,
they
you
went
wanna
down
see
here,
that? I
and
have
he's
that.
throwing balls, and that's going to be a narrative, right? But what's going to happen? Mooney needs a contract. Claypool needs a contract.
Look at him.
Kmet needs a contract. What's going to happen when there's not enough balls to go around?
well, next year they're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Let's
and
go.
that's not going to be a problem with one of those 2 top 5 picks that they might have.
Look at this,
I don't
Justin.
listen. I don't know what the answer is. I just know that
He looks happy.
Claypool. The thing with Claypool is I just saw it in the chat. He's not a number 1. You know what? And neither was Mooney. And we tried to force him into being a number 1 last year, and it didn't work out because again, not enough offensive line. He's not a number 1. But now those guys can go be good 2s, good 3s.
And I hope they're up for the challenge, and I hope they're up for playing that role, right? We were worried when DeMar came here with Zach,
That's right.
all these shots, and it worked for a while, and now it took him a while to get back to that balance, and now it was DeMar this way, and now this season it's gone more Zach this way. So
Yeah.
If you have 2 good receivers, or 3 good receivers, you're always going to have somebody that wants the ball more. But that's a good problem to have, not a bad one.
Luke, you listened to Ryan's press conference on the way down here. Anything else stand out to you?
From him, not really. It was the Brown stuff that stood out, that he was like, no, it just wasn't, it's his guy, for him to just say that wasn't the right scheme fit. Okay, I understand that. He believes, he was also asked about Roquan versus Edmonds, and he said it's a different body type, it's a different linebacker type for this scheme. And by the way, in reality, they probably got 2 starting linebackers and a second-round pick for the price of what they would have paid Roquan.
Right.
For a guy that they didn't believe really made impact plays in this particular defense. Again, just like David Montgomery, not saying that he wasn't a good player. He's the best player on the Bears last year, but he's not the guy they were looking for specifically for that money in this fit of defense. So now they think they have that guy, and they think the guy they got is not only good, they think he'll be much better in this particular defense. So I like that. The other thing was Moore talking about, he did sound a little underwhelmed with Chicago. His tweets have seemed like, hey, I'm excited, let's go get him, Justin Fields, right?
Yeah.
And then all the questions about Chicago was like, yeah, so I'm just here, make other people better. And
I don't think he's going to fill a lot of notebooks.
It's like, yeah.
He was talking about like his house.
Trade.
He didn't like the
What's
housing
the biggest
stock
difference
here.
between
What's the
here
biggest,
and Carolina? The houses.
Like, man, get yourself a good realtor. I'm sure there's any number of realtors just dying for business right now.
Yeah, call Megan Mawicki on the North Shore.
Yes.
She'll find you something.
Yes, she will.
Buy Jordan's house.
Shout out to Megan Mawicki. Let's go.
Get Jordan's house.
Get Jordan's house that he can't sell.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's
Patrick
open.
Kane. Patrick Kane's selling his.
I don't think he's selling it.
No,
he just bought
it.
Oh,
Kane left town, but before he left town, he bought a place.
A $5 million
Oh,
place
I
in Lake
thought
Forest.
now he was selling it. I didn't know that he purchased
Wow.
it.
He
Okay.
sold
Now,
his
I will
Trump
say,
Tower
if
place
I
a
was
while
employed
back.
somewhere and I had bought a nice house at a nice 3% interest rate, then all of a sudden I'm just minding my own business on a random Friday afternoon, and a tweet from, I don't know, who broke the trade? Was it Schefter?
It was Rappaport, but whatever. They're all
Comes
the same.
across and says, wait a minute, I'm getting traded to Chicago, bye-bye 3% interest rate. Now you got to move to the North Shore of Chicago, get locked into I don't know what a jumbo loan is these days,
Right.
but
Rent David Montgomery's house.
yeah,
Montgomery's probably got a pretty nice
probably
place.
rent. Keep your spread in Charlotte. Sell that to Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You're all set, DJ. It's going to be fine.
Oh, you know whose house he could buy? I don't know if it ever sold. Matt Nagy's house. He had all kinds of Bears stuff built in.
No, he had all of his play cards in the basement. You remember seeing
I'd
that?
call Nagy up and be like, hey, is your place still on the market? Just asking.
His Denny's cards.
Yeah, I don't think Nagy's coming back.
There's places to buy. Yu Darvish's place in Evanston on the lake, that might be available.
I mean,
A lot of places.
I'm
If you have
sure
money,
there's-
He can
There's
find a place.
possibilities,
The
DJ.
difference
It's
is you're
gonna
not
be
getting
fine.
the amount of property you would get in Carolina because there's less people
yeah.
and there is not a Great Lake.
that is true.
So that was my thing. He seemed underwhelmed by the city of Chicago, but how much time has he really spent here?
I liked when Poles was just talking about I didn't want to get greedy for that number 1 pick. I kind of understood
That was good.
This was something that I wanted. I was going to pull. I wasn't just going to kind of wait and try to get more, and then maybe the market collapses.
The Wilson Contreras problem with the Cubs.
Right. And to me, like that is what impresses me most about Ryan Poles is the patience, just the kind of just being even keeled. He's collecting picks. He's taking his time. And we just came off of Ryan Pace's tenure where he never met a guy he didn't want to trade up for.
Yes. He went all in on it. Instead of giving himself a cushion.
I'm going to collect mediocre quarterbacks like Nick Foles and Andy Dalton. And
Ryan Pace wanted to tell you he was the smartest guy in the room with every move he made. Everything was, I'm going all in on this guy. I'm not even going to talk to these quarterbacks. I'm all in on this guy. I'm all in on this guy. I'm all in on another guy. And you know what? They didn't work out. And so now the next guy's finally coming in and saying, I may not be the smartest guy in the room. I think I'm smart, but in case I'm not smart a few times, I'm going to increase my amount of chances at being smart. seems like a good plan. The worst case scenario for the Bears after they got the number 1 pick would have been sticking with the number 1 pick and then having to overdraft someone for value of a number 1 pick.
Yep.
Like, it's not horrible to have the number 1 pick, but if you're taking a guy that you could get at 6, 7, or 8, you don't want to have to take him at 1 just because the next guys in line are quarterbacks and you don't think you need one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That is true.
And it's smart to pull it when you did. I mean, what if Bryce Young starts making the rounds and people don't like him once they get in their building? The market collapses.
DJ Moore's value right now would be a first-round player, right? So they got a first-round pick, a proven first-round pick, which is impossible to find, but they got a proven first-rounder, okay, in their number 1 wide receiver. Now they have a first-round pick next year. They still have the first-round pick this year, plus the other draft capital. They got all those things because Lovie Smith was good to us one more time. Thanks, you, Lovie.
Build the damn statue.
Build the statue.
I already did.
Yeah. You know what else? You don't have to build a statue because you could build the bobblehead. Chicago, you've already got the best coverage for your favorite team, so get fitted out in the best sports gear around. Foco has you covered from Soldier Field to the living room, north side, south side. Maybe you want a DJ Moore jersey, hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads, everything in between. Get decked out like DeMar with apparel from the leader in sports merch and collectibles, Foco. Looking for that perfect gift for the football fan in your life? Oh, wait till that number 1 pick comes in for us. What is it going to be, number 9? We think it's going to be 9? Maybe it's a Skoronski jersey you're waiting for it to come out. They'll have it. Or you want a hoodie, fight that Lake Michigan breeze. Maybe you're getting ready for opening day. Cubs or Sox fan, you're going to want something warm, maybe a winter hat. Check out Foco.com. Click the link in our description below. For all non-presale items, use the promo code CHGO for 10% off. My suggestion would be, if you're a baseball fan and you're going to opening day, stock up on the scarves, the hats, the gloves, the hoodies, and the starter jackets.
Yeah, and then another hoodie.
And then one more hoodie.
There's nothing worse than,
and also,
you get there, and then you're like, boy, it's really cold out. And then you have to go to the merch shop, and it's like an insane amount of...
Don't buy it at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Don't buy, everybody that's ever gone to Wrigley Field or U.S. Cellular guaranteed rate has purchased some sort of hoodie jacket that they don't wear that often, and they paid 3 times the price for it.
It's not good.
Everybody's done it. We've all been there.
Luke, spring has sprung, or maybe it's going to spring. Maybe it has sprung. I don't know.
Sprang.
Anyway, our friends
it sprungeth.
Yeah. Our friends at Manscaped have the best tools for some spring cleaning.
Oh.
They have already helped you tidy up all the nooks and crannies of your body's basement. But this year, Manscaped can help get the perfect presentation on that beautiful face with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Make sure you look your best this spring by using code CHGOBETS to get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. I don't know if you guys have noticed I'm growing out my hair a little, so I may use some of Manscaped stuff to,
Allow me the pleasure of
I probably need to clean up, so I'm going
Allow me the pleasure of
Very nice.
to use the trimmer that we got last year.
In the contest for top hair at CHGO, Kevin is probably the number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed?
Huh.
Gottlieb's in there.
Who else is up there?
Gottlieb, yeah.
Gottlieb's in the conversation.
Vinny might be.
Moriano.
Vinny?
Moriano.
I'd take Kevin as my number 1 seed.
I'd say Herb when he went blonde, I think was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
Yes,
that was
I forgot about
sexy.
that.
good. That was good.
Sexy.
Sean after he shaved his head on the air.
What about Kacy?
Yeah, what about me?
Well, yeah, I was
Kacy?
going to
Not
say
today.
Kacy, but then she's going to be like, I did everything.
She has the longest hair.
Better
That's the
day.
longest
Is that
hair.
what I sound? You've been making me sound like a Muppet all day.
Yeah, that happens.
You don't sound like a
Like
Muppet.
a Muppet voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is time to tame your mane with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The sun is peeking back out, which means you'll have to show your face in the daylight again. Use that kit to make sure your scruff looks award-winning, whether you have glorious beard flow or some smooth, sleek cheeks. The kit starts off with the Beard Hedger, a waterproof cordless trimmer with a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers.
Very nice.
I like it.
I think I need to purchase that, or maybe they'll just be sending us one into this office.
You could probably use some of the beard balm.
Yeah.
Aw.
Me too, probably.
Yeah.
It also comes with titanium-coated T-blades that are tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Beard Hedger is a high-tech piece of art in a travel-sized package with a long-lasting battery, universal charging, and a strong motor. Next, the kit has the liquid goods to make you feel good, starting with the beard shampoo and conditioner. You can't treat your beard like you treat your pubes. That's why the kit has a special shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your beard's natural oils and promote beard health. The Pro Kit also has Manscaped's beard oil. The nutrient-infused oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath, while still adding a little shimmer and shine to liven up the look. Cap it off with that beard balm, a pomade that shapes styles and moisturizes, bringing the amazing scent of fresh eucalyptus, rosemary, and lavender essential oils. Then finally, the Beard Hedger Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. Again, save 20% off and free shipping with the code CHGOBETS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CHGOBETS at manscaped.com. Focus on the face and use the Beard Hedger Pro Kit for the cleanest look in the game.
I have a rule in life, and one of those rules is you can't ever go wrong with the combination of eucalyptus and rosemary.
Is that right?
And there it is, right there in the beard balm.
Doug in the chat
Man
says,
has to have a code.
does Lawrence need to shave his beard off so he doesn't get traded to the Jets
Yes.
podcast? And Tony's like, oh, Mr. Rogers' brother, and this other
Lawrence
dude,
came out of the
Rogers.
darkness the other day.
No, that guy, F that guy.
He
all right?
decided he
Yeah.
was going to do the show. He
I
didn't
saw a
wanna be
picture of
traded.
you from the opening days of CHGO last year when you did have the long hair.
He
When I
was
was still in
Jesus,
my-
was that not a good look?
Wow, thank you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I was still in the COVID darkness of
We were at the United Center. I'm like honestly surprised you weren't like just detained at some.
Why did you want to do that again? Was it just for fun?
What are we talking about?
Your hair.
Why was
did
my
you
hair
grow it out?
long?
Yeah.
Because of COVID and my brain broke, and I just decided to not shave
decided
my head.
when else are you going to do it?
Yeah, but that was like long after COVID. You were just living.
No, we were still in the.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know who you look like? You look like Wayne Grow from Heat.
Okay.
You remember that movie?
Yeah, love Heat. Sure.
Yeah. You
Wayne
kind
Grow.
of look like Wayne Grow.
Law is a combination. When his hair's long, he's more like Aaron Rodgers with the ponytail. But he's a combination of Aaron Rodgers and
Grow.
the guy from The Office, Ryan.
Ryan the
Ryan
Tank.
from The Office. Ryan from The Office and Aaron Rodgers. That is Law.
I kind
don't
of see
see
that
it.
Ryan from the yeah. I kinda see
sorry.
that.
Because Aaron Rodgers has a little of that in him. So
Yeah.
it's like the three of you were separated at birth.
Kari Blasingame says that I need to get the long hair back. Sorry.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either.
Oh, thanks, Case.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Well, it's the only way I knew you back then.
Casey, men with beards or without beards? Which way
I
do you
like
go?
a beard. I don't care if they don't though, but I think I prefer it.
You prefer the beard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind facial
What about
hair.
back hair?
That's fine, I guess.
Manscaped's got people covered for
I
that
think
too.
it's weird when guys like shave
The back
their
hair.
like
Initials
chest
into their
hair.
back?
I think that's weird. I've known people to shave their chest hair. I find that odd.
What
Don't
about
do
shaving
that,
their
'cause then
back
it's just
hair?
prickly.
Like their initials or
I
their
don't know.
number
I
into
don't
their
know
back
about
hair.
the back hair. I
Number
don't have
6.
Their
experience.
favorite team.
I don't have experience with that.
Like 40-year-old virgin.
uncomfortable.
What if somebody shaved like the phrase brick by brick into his back?
Oof.
It's been
Not
known
that
to
that
happen.
actually has happened. I'm just
What else are we talking about
Yeah.
today?
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, Zach says this conversation turned real quick, and yes, it did. Let's get into our over-under segment. We're going to talk a little bit more football here because that's all we're talking about, football. World Baseball Classic's going on right now. Got zero interest. March Madness, like I'm sure I'll be an expert by the end of this weekend, but I haven't paid that much attention. I did have a good time at the Big Ten tournament last week. Thanks to Peck for filling in so I could enjoy my time out there.
Were
you
you
were
always-
you were down at the high school tournament.
I was at the boys' state tournament.
And you jinxed all the Chicago area teams. Way to go.
Bennett lost, Simeon lost, St. Ignatius lost.
Downers Grove
Sorry.
North went down.
Yep.
So it was what,
Prospect lost
Moline
Liberty,
and
Moline, Metamora won.
Where's Metamora?
I don't know.
that. I think it's south.
Moline's like Iowa.
Moline is Quad
It's a
Cities.
Quad
That's
Cities?
my mother-in-law's
Sure.
alma mater.
She was excited.
She's
And they hadn't
very
won since
excited.
1950 or
This
something.
Jan is very
1A team,
excited. They-
Jabot won.
Lights on
They
the
were
bridge.
excited first time for them.
Over the Mississippi.
It was exciting. It was a good tournament.
What was the best game?
Well, that Simeon Metamora game was really good because it was going into overtime, went into overtime. Metamora ended up winning in the end, but that was a close game throughout. Simeon, head coach Robert Smith, did not get his 7th
That's a
and
bummer.
final state title.
We had a debate here whether it's Simeon or Simeon.
Okay,
The school says Simeon.
yeah, Simeon.
Most
Everybody who
people
That
goes
say
blew
there.
my
Simeon.
mind.
Yeah, the school.
I've been
the school
saying
goes
it.
by
I've been saying
Simeon.
it wrong my entire.
Well, I don't know if we
life.
have or haven't because half the people that go there say Simeon.
I don't think there's a wrong way. I think it's just
So is that like when my
it is Simeon though. I think.
when
I was
my
told it's like
ancestors came
tomato,
over here,
tomato.
it was Kaduk, but over time it's
Sure.
become Kaduk.
yeah.
Kaduk.
Right.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. It's like tomato, caramel.
Oh, yeah.
Stuckmeyer.
Were you a Stuckmeyer?
I don't know. Don't know.
I don't know.
I think it was probably it's German descent. It's probably Stuckmeyer,
Stuckmeyer.
but I don't fully know.
I think my name was Staidohar.
Huh?
And they changed it to an N. Like it was like Standohar.
Standohar.
All right.
It's not German.
I don't know.
Also, those terrible German impressions.
Settle down.
All right. I've got some over/under numbers for you. 20.5. Number of the draft selection where Jalen Carter is drafted on April 27th, or I guess, it could be 28th or 29th, depending on how things go for Jalen. He did not have a good pro day yesterday. He looked like I would running the 3-cone drill. He waved off the 40 like it had you asked me to ask the 40. I'm not 9 pounds up.
Yeah, you
thank
could
God.
see
I'm
it
actually 9 pounds down. But Jalen was 9 pounds heavier yesterday than he was at the combine. So we were talking about him being a number 1 pick. And then we were talking about, well, maybe the Bears can get him at number 9. Do you think he'll fall farther than that? Over or under 20.5? Let us know in the comments. Luke, what do you think?
So over, you're saying like in the top 20 picks, right?
Under would be
You're saying under. You're
20
going
and below.
lowers.
Yeah.
I think he's still going to go in the top 20. I do. I don't think there'll be 19 teams that are so terrified by the workout. He was given 12 months community service today. He won't be doing jail time for his role. That's settled. It's done. They've told him to move on. I think it's 80 hours community service or something as well. The 9 pounds, does it really scare me? Well, the guy just went through something that probably caused him to do a lot of nervous eating. Let's be honest. Like, he's not, while this is going on, he's not working out. He's probably sitting at home just stuffing pizzas down his face, and it's somewhat understandable. He made a poor decision, and he's going to pay for it.
The other part of it is 9 pounds to your Kacy, big deal. 9 pounds to maybe someone in my bracket or Jalen Carter, who weighs much more than me as well, not as big of a deal.
No, I mean, he loses the first day of training camp. It might be
Right.
mostly water
It's a
weight for
weight,
all
right?
we know.
Yeah.
By the way, I was just thinking, you're
So-
going to run the marathon and you're adding weight by growing your hair out. This seems like a bad idea.
It's
Your lettuce is going to be waving in the wind.
that'll
It's going to
gonna be
slow you
awesome.
down. You
I
got to
love
shave
that.
your head before
I'll have a good
that race.
headband. I'll still be very aerodynamic.
He's not trying to match up against the Nigerians or anything, or Ethiopians or
yourself.
whoever.
Yeah.
I'm taking this serious.
Since when, Aaron Rodgers?
I'll settle
Everyone's saying over. I say under too, Luke.
I think he'll be in the top 20 for sure.
It's
I
going
don't know
to-
that it's the Bears.
It's going to matter on these facility visits.
yeah.
Today, Ryan Poles said, we're going to have him here. We're going to host him. We're going to get him across the table. We're going to look him in the eye, and we're going to see what this is all about, how we feel about him. I still don't think the Bears will take him at number 9, regardless of how that turns out. I just don't think that that's a McCaskey player. I've talked about that several times on podcast here. But I will take under because I don't think people are going
He's
to let
going
him
to go
fall.
like 11 or
Tremendous
15.
talent.
I agree.
Yeah.
Talent
Like
talks.
That second pick the Houston has, I think, at 12. Like that would seem like
Yeah, if you have 2 picks
if Houston
in the top 20,
if Houston gets their quarterback and their defensive linchpin, that's a pretty good start.
I'm with Demond, though, who said 18th to the Lions. If the Lions get him,
Well, yeah, I was terrified of
they have 6 and
before
18,
this. I was
right?
terrified of the Lions getting him at 6, and now if the Lions got him at 18,
Either
good
way.
Lord, not good. 999 number of receiving yards by DJ Moore in 2023.
is it 1,000 how many times? 3 times?
Was it 3 or 4?
I don't know.
Come on, producer Lauren.
I'm not your stats guy.
Well,
Figure
there's
that
extra
you guys
games
have
now.
laptops in front of you.
1,000-yard receiver isn't quite what it used to be, just like a 1,000-yard rusher isn't what it used to be.
Also, he's on the Bears now, right? It's under. The answer is under. That's just
I
an
think-
obvious
yeah.
answer.
I don't know. He's going to get a lot of targets. I would think his touchdowns might be higher than his yards. I'll go under. But not by a lot. Not by a lot.
I think I'd go under too, just because of the number.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with Justin Fields, who still is not throwing a lot of yards out there, and he's going to have more people to throw to. There's a lot of guys to throw his balls to, so I'm going under.
There are a lot of people in chat saying over.
Kacy?
E90 saying Mooney went
I
over.
don't know. I say under because Bears.
Yeah, I think that's the
I
same.
Because
like you a lot.
Bears.
But yeah, as you know, E90 Zach, Mooney went over a couple years ago. Sure,
That's true.
Sure.
I tell you what, if he's over 1,000, that's a great sign. It's a great sign that the offense is working. At least a good sign
What's the next
that
one?
the offense is working. So I'll go over.
Yeah, moving.
0.5. Number of playoff victories by Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets next season.
0.5.
Huh.
Does he win a game or not? Basically.
Well, here's the thing. They're in a division where they might be the third best team. Like, as good as they are, they might be they're not better than the Chiefs. They're not better than the Bengals. They're not better than the Bills. And I'm not sure they're better necessarily than the Dolphins, depending on who the Dolphins' quarterback is. What if the Dolphins were to go out and trade for Lamar Jackson?
wow.
I think you have to take the under on this.
I think you have to take the under
it's the
too.
Jets, because Jets is a...
That's he's got some really good wide receivers. They have a good defense, though. It's a good team. I just think they're in a tough division, so their matchup early on won't be easy.
So Zach says might not even make the playoffs, honestly. Let's say I change this to 0.5 playoff bursts for Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Does that change it? Would you take over on that?
Yeah, I would take
And there are 7 teams that qualify now.
I think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, I do too.
David Klein says, probably play the Bills, the Bengals, or the Chiefs in round one. And I'm saying if that's their first matchup, they're in trouble. Of course, injuries are everything in the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers, when will he show up? Is he even going to the Jets?
Yeah, I
That's
know,
a
it's
better
like,
question.
Has this happened yet?
I mean, the Packers haven't done it. He's just said, I want
I
to
know,
play for the
right?
Jets, and the Packers are sitting there like, oh, good for you.
Did you watch Pat McAfee yesterday?
No,
Whatever
I
you
just
want,
listened
sweetie.
to some of it.
450,000 people were watching, which I think is close to what we're drawing here today, right?
That's the population of Milwaukee, isn't
Divided
it?
by a lot.
It's half the state of Wisconsin was watching.
Does AJ Hawk ever talk on that show? I've probably watched 10 minutes of Pat McAfee combined in my life. I've never seen AJ Hawk actually ever say anything on that show.
He's quiet.
Well, Pat McAfee is quite a presence, so
Yeah, you don't have a lot
He
of
is.
space to. I was in an elevator once with AJ Hawk.
How'd that go?
Yeah.
He didn't say much.
Ramsey says Lawrence is unbearable sometimes. Sometimes.
Did you guys hear my
Thanks,
story about
Ramses.
my buddy who was
What?
in an elevator with Aaron Rodgers this year? He was in San Francisco for a work trip when the Packers were
Stink.
out there for a preseason game.
Uh-huh.
And he gets in the elevator, and then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers and a couple other Packers get into the elevator with him. The doors close, and my buddy goes, hey, guys, I hate to tell you this, but I'm a Bears fan. And there's just silence, and Aaron Rodgers just goes, sucks to be you.
I hate him.
It was pretty good.
And your friend walked
I don't
out
hate
and
him, I
said,
just don't
take
like
a
him at all.
shower.
Right.
Take a shower.
It's like, hey, I've got some, what's the drug?
Ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca? I'd never heard of that before.
Hiawatha is the train line.
That's right. Ayahuasca.
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 Yeah.
You smoke it or what?
I don't know.
I don't know what he does with it.
Go in a tent or a yurt.
I just know he came out of the darkness with feces
Is
all
it
over
legal?
his
Will this
face.
be his last year? Will he play for the Jets and then be done?
He said in this podcast,
Yeah, he's got time.
no need to go listen to it. It's not as good as ours. He said on that podcast that when he left to go to the darkness, he was 90% retiring, 10% playing football somewhere. And so he spent most of his time, he spent an entire day in the darkness envisioning himself playing somewhere, and then he spent another day envisioning himself as a retired person.
Oh my God,
And then
okay.
he was sort of stabbed in the back in his mind. No hard feelings. Don't victimize me.
Shut up. I mean, I'm
The
talking to Aaron
Packers,
Rodgers.
something
but, like,
changed with the Packers, and I came back and they said, we're moving on.
I'm so over him.
All right, I'm over him.
And now he
away.
wants to play for the Jets. And so I hope they trade him somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, final number here. We're switching up sports. 1.5 combined number of NCAA tournament victories between Illinois and Northwestern.
I'm going over
Over, wow.
because I have the Cats in the Sweet 16.
What?
I have the
possible.
Cats in the Sweet 16.
Who's
Illinois
the,
goes down to Arkansas is my prediction.
Who do the Cats? Who's their 2 seed in that little?
Boise State,
No, that's the 10.
and then they play.
Is it Texas? No, it's
Nope, it's not
Arizona,
Texas. No, not Arizona.
UCLA. It's UCLA. Yeah.
Bro Delicious says over.
No,
Over.
I'm gonna.
I don't know.
I think it's under. I
Hashtag
don't
go
trust.
Cats.
I don't trust Illinois at all.
Skoronsky.
And I don't trust Northwestern at all.
yeah.
Skoronsky.
I'm going under.
Nah.
Skoronsky.
Betting on Big Ten teams in the tournament is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's a good thing we don't
Or
have
don't.
to. Don't have
I'm
to
looking
bet on
so forward just to antagonizing Braggs so much during the next few
them.
weeks.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, who cares? I don't know why you don't like Braggs' Purdue thing so much. Like, I don't. Like,
Well,
why
I
you-
don't
why
care
are
if
you
he
on
Purdue.
it?
plays Purdue. Good for him.
I don't like their fans that are like,
I don't care about Purdue. Like,
it doesn't
Purdue-
matter. Win something. Oh, we won 25 Big Ten championships. Who cares? You choke every single March.
know,
I
so
have
does everyone
Indiana
else.
going further than Purdue in my pick, my pool. Hoo.
Don't get me started at Indiana. Indiana still thinks they're a blue blood.
Yeah.
Well, they are a blue, but
No, they're not.
They're just not a
They
good
haven't
one.
been relevant in 20 years.
Yeah, they're the Nebraska football of college hoops.
They are
right.
absolutely the Nebraska football of college
That's right.
hoops. I would say Indiana basketball has a bigger chance of ever turning it around. Like Nebraska, I think they're done for.
sunk.
Indiana could turn things around, but yes, that is an apt
I
comparison.
just
all
don't
you
know if
need
you
is
have
one
a,
good
I don't
draft
know if you
class.
have like a say in this when your guys are in the NIT. Like I feel like you can't talk.
Wow.
Sorry.
I can see whatever I want.
My guys are in the NIT. Youngstown State's in the NIT too.
My guys
The
are in neither.
Penguins.
I can say whatever I want.
Columbia College
25
fighting
years
commuters.
since the greatest shot in NCAA basketball history.
Man,
25 years.
That's
I
since
insane.
remember where I
Two
was.
for the win. Hey, Dad.
It was amazing.
Nice shirt.
was that at the United Center?
No. They were in Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't remember where they were, but it was not here.
I'm trying to think where that was. Florida State was their second round win.
That can't be the best buzzer beater when there's actually been a national championship decided by a buzzer
Yes,
beater.
but they're not as
Yeah,
unexpected
no one-
as this.
yeah.
This was before mid majors won anything. This
Yeah.
is back when the Indianas of the world and North Carolina, you just marched them out to the Elite Eight, and that's who won. This was the little engine that could. This was the father was the coach, the son was the player. It was the movie Hoosiers playing out in front of everybody.
Oh, those were the days.
Don't get caught watching the paint dry.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, let's move
I
on.
want to tell everyone about DraftKings. DraftKings is your spot to bet on the NCAA tournament this weekend. I know I'm going to be pulling out my phone and probably firing off a couple picks here and there. I actually did not do a bracket
Why?
this year because I just felt
You
like
did
I'm
ours?
just going to
It's free.
save my money just to bet on games individually.
Ours is free.
Yeah, I was going to say we have one for work. I didn't pay
I
money
did.
for that, did I?
One, I didn't have time. But yeah.
I just went click.
I did do Joe Ostrowski's Survivor Pool.
Yeah.
Where you get to pick
One team.
one team every day to advance.
I like those.
Those are pretty fun. But DraftKings, they have your parlays, your straight bets. You definitely want to check that out. If you download the app now and sign up with the code CHGO, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook. That's an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See those show notes for details. Have you made any straight bets on yet?
I have not bet since the Super Bowl, since I won my $600, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the right moment. I thought about it today.
You might find it this weekend.
I think I will. We lost Mike Jameson. He said, "Can we stay on topic?" And then he said, "Bye."
Yeah, Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
Maybe read the description before you
Mike,
say
come
that.
on back.
The topic is
Come on back,
Chicago
Mike.
sports.
Speaking of other things you don't pay for, the show.
Is it time?
We had a good time with the DraftKings Sportsbook app when we were at the United Center last
Oh,
last
yeah?
week.
I bet.
we all just decided we're going to bet. What game did we see? Ohio State and I don't know who we saw. We saw Ohio State and somebody. We just all bet the over. And it was a really low total in the first half. And so we were pretty resigned to losing. And then both teams just started going. It was Iowa and Ohio State.
Yeah.
And they started going on a run. The game opened up, and they were hitting on every possession, 3-pointers, whatever. And so we were going crazy every time a basket was scored, no matter who it was. And it was pretty empty in the arena. So we were making some noise. It was fun. We still ended up losing the bet, but it came close.
I don't think I've missed the window. I still think I can place it even though the tournament has started. DraftKings sent me a $10 bonus bet if my first NCAA tournament bet doesn't hit.
Correct.
So you place a bet, then you get the bonus bet.
You get
right?
a no sweat.
Love the no sweat.
I think I can do that, right?
I believe my
think
no
I can
sweat
still
is
place
on.
that.
I think it might be on
That was going to
Mizzou.
be my next bet.
Ugh.
I told you not to bet on Mizzou. That's
I know.
just
I
as
bet
bad of
against
a recipe.
Mizzou in my tournament. Yep, against him.
I'm somehow riding with Ryan. Are we doing scroll stoppers today, or are we just going to talk?
Well, we
about
have to do.
Oh, I want to tell you about Circle K first. We're really excited to be partnering with our friends at Circle K. Check out your local Circle K for the best coffee, beer, snack selection, premium gas. Look out for freebies and giveaways down the road. Love a good Twix bar on the road to go with a Red Bull. I pick them up at my Circle K. You know where I like to go? My favorite location is there's a few of them around the Chicago area. I like the one Arlington Heights Road and 83 in Buffalo Grove.
Okay.
Halfway to my in-laws. Stop over there. Jump right in.
Slim Jims?
No Slim Jim. I'm not a Slim Jim guy. I'm more of a candy guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so Twix is really my...
No combos?
I like combos.
Yeah.
Pretzels are pretty good with almost anything.
Yeah.
Pretzels are pretty good with almost anything. Anyways, thanks to Circle K for sponsoring CHGO. Visit the nearest Circle K to pick up all your favorite finds. It's a great little stop. You want to get in and out. Quick service. They get anything you want. But for me, it's Twix and a Red Bull.
Scroll Stoppers is back.
Oh,
Casy's
now
back.
we're doing it?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
One day you guys will actually get my intro smoother than the way you always do.
I don't know. I didn't see a Circle K ad in the thing, so I don't know where that came from, but here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm back to talk about what's happening on social media. Today, we have a really cool graphic that we found from this Instagram account called Corn Doggy Basketball.
Oh, corn
I like that.
doggy
And this is so
I like corn
cool.
dogs.
Oh, where is
They
he at?
made all of the teams in the tournament in like
look at
little,
him.
like almost like baby, like childish
Baby?
logos.
Yeah, baby.
And some of them are so fun. Some of them are boring. Like Iowa's isn't very good.
Isn't that Arizona
Not that
State's
different.
normal logo?
Some of them aren't great. But look at the little Northwestern Wildcat. Oh, it's cute.
Aw.
Can you guys see that?
Where's
I don't know if
What's
you
What's
can
their
see it.
K-State thing is the actual K-State
Where's
logo.
the Northwestern
Where's
one?
Northwestern? What are we
I
talking
don't know if
about?
it's
So
on
is
there,
Kentucky.
but
Oh, there
I don't
it
know
is.
about
There it
this.
is.
Some of
And
these are
the-
cool.
The
I'm gonna lose
Baylor
that
one
one.
is cute. He's like a little blob bear.
The Wildcat looks like a
connection.
mouse.
I know.
I
I
don't know,
love
Casey.
these.
Crew, Baylor.
And look at the
Yeah.
little Boilermaker special, the train. It has
Boilermaker.
a
Hold
little
on, it's over here.
smiley face
Where?
on it.
Hold on, he's right
Somewhere in here.
there.
Well, was that the
Oh.
Demon Deacon?
Shouldn't that be a beer with a shot in it?
I love these.
Okay, and then here's our other.
I think these are so creative and fun.
Colgate.
The
tube of
Alabama,
toothpaste.
yeah, the Colgate one's fun. The Alabama little
Oh, look at that.
elephant is
Look at
waving.
Nittany
Reveille.
Lion.
I do like the Texas A&M Collie.
Yeah, Reveille.
Yeah, I like that. Penn State, that is their logo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kinda
some
lame.
of them just, we mailed it in. But a lot of these are
Oh,
fun.
look at Bama. Oh,
The Bama elephant is so cute.
Creighton Blue Jay there, next to NC State, I believe.
Has there ever been a, like,
Is that a gummy bear?
I was
Alabama's
gonna
a
say
Duke
that.
level villain in this tournament too, right?
That's a gummy.
Yeah.
It's
Duke
not
level.
a gummy bear.
Yeah.
Everyone against Bama.
Yeah, and then did you see that this guy also did a Bulls starting five, which I
I
thought
like
was
that.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
these are fun.
Yeah.
RM said Corn Doggy is a legend. I guess I didn't know about Corn Doggy before,
Corn
but
That looks
I
like
love
a good
these.
Instagram follow.
I love these. Good Instagram follow. Shout out to Corn
Good
Doggy Basketball.
Instagram
And last but certainly not least, well, we have two things here. We're talking Merch Madness on CHGO Twitter, on our Instagram, on our main CHGO Sports account. We have matchups every hour on the hour happening with merch, 10% off merch if you use code MERCH10 at checkout at chgolocker.com. Here's one of these fun videos.
In this matchup, Nicholas Moriano in the CHGO Black Flag hoodie against Luke Stuckmeyer wearing the Hey Chicago shirt. This is CHGO Merch Madness.
I love
I
it.
mean-
I'm at 28% right now. Please go to CHGO Sports on Twitter.
You're losing?
He's losing.
I'm losing. Well, yes.
I mean, Nick's a
They
good
got
gotta
me
vote for the
matched
shirt
up
or
against
the hoodie.
Captain Fitness over there.
To make it to the next round, we're gonna do March Madness all through. There'll be a bigger discount when there's a winner on that item. So go vote, have fun with us, retweet. It's a good time. Everybody did a really good job with their Mortal
Shout out
Kombat
to Tim
poses.
Sinclair.
Yeah,
Voice
Tim.
of the Bulls doing that for us.
Tim
awesome.
rocked it. I mean, he was so professional.
How did
and
that
he,
happen? I'm very confused. I don't understand that happening.
What do you mean?
Well, how did we get him? What?
He was
Tim's a
ready
good
to
Call
guy.
him
Tim's
up.
a man
He's
about
doing
time. Tim came to our Chicago CHGO Bulls takeover a few weeks back.
He's great.
There you
Very cool guy. Great voice.
I got matched up against Moriano in the Arlington Heights bracket since we both live there.
Yeah,
So
That's
There
how I
you
got
go.
put in
That's
that bracket,
why.
which
That
was
must-
unfair to
yeah.
me. You know,
Yeah.
the Northwest bracket.
Arlington Heights region.
he's a
Yeah.
third of my age.
So go vote. And okay, I lied. The last thing we're going to talk about is the
Yeah, what are we gonna talk
arrival of Mark K.
about? Ah,
This is
Mark
great.
K.
on the CHGO Bulls podcast last night. He finally made the trek.
He met Tim Sinclair at the game
He
last
met
night.
Tim Sinclair. He met a bunch of people.
Chuck Swirsky.
I think he's so happy that he is just here and he's able to podcast like live for the first time in person with the guys.
Yeah.
It looks
Check
like
this
Peck.
out.
Look at
that guy. Look at that guy right there.
Joining us in
Look
studio,
at him. Legendary.
hustled over
Let's
from
go.
the madhouse, it's Mark K!
I know you now, sir. Have a seat.
Look, guys, he's here!
Feel how that feels.
He's here! Hit the thumbs up button for Mark K!
It feels
Come
good.
on!
This feels good. It was incredible. Like just being there.
Yeah.
I really I don't have the words for it, Dave, because like this has been a thing that I've been trying to do for several years, 20 years. Like I've been a Bulls fan for 20 plus years.
Right.
Been wanting to come into Chicago for years now. To actually get this opportunity to be here with you guys in this studio, that's sick in itself. But to be at a Bulls game and see like that level of game as well, like that was a fun game.
Yes.
That was a great game.
Yes, it was.
From what I can remember, again, like I was just sort of snapping pictures, like, oh, there's a hanging friggin' jersey. He's like, there's Zach, there's Kobe. So it was sick. It was so cool, man.
So fun. Good to have Mark K finally in person with us at the studio.
That was awesome.
Total Anarchy TV is leaving. He said it's a very misleading title.
But we love
These
you.
fools are just wasting
Bears.
time.
Actually,
Bears
if you
at
would have
3.
showed up on time,
You're
we
late
did
to the
talk about the
show.
Bears for about
We
We
20
talked about the Bears for 45
20
minutes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but hey, thanks for leaving.
It's all good.
It's anarchy around
We
here.
love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
This is great. It's good to be back in studio together.
Yeah.
Hopefully this happens for a few more weeks,
Yeah,
right?
maybe. I mean, I'll be gone in 2 weeks.
2
from now.
weeks?
Yeah.
And I may be as well.
Yeah, so there's that.
Opening day.
Opening day
I'll
is
be
in 2 weeks from
Arizona.
today.
Yeah.
I'll be-
crazy.
I'll be
So
in Arizona.
exciting.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Thank you guys for everyone hanging out. Bears show at 3.
Yeah.
You know what? And if you do want the Bears talk, we're going to end this. Hit refresh on your browser. Go back. 45 minutes of Bears talk.
45 minutes of Bears talk. And the
Bears.
Cubs podcast
We also
is
talked about
coming up at
shaving our
1:20.
chests.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
right.
back here.
Or
Cubs
not.
podcast at 1:20. We may just talk Bears instead anyway.
Yeah, who's on the Cubs podcast? in
Everybody has to
20
talk
minutes?
Bears today.
Kevin Butler, Jim McMahon, and
Oh, say another.
Oh, fun.
Hilgenberg?
Hoagie.
Cubs is next, Edward.
All right. Thanks for joining the Chicago Sports Podcast. We love you guys. Thanks for being making us part of your day. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcast provider.
Vote for me.
We'll be back next Thursday, I think at 3 o'clock, but we'll see.
Vote for me on Twitter.